We got the homie Clay and Twin here.
What's up?
757's.
Yeah.
We want to get right to it. So what happened with the relationship with Team Loaded? Because it's like the relationship went just sour out of nowhere.
I mean, it wasn't really a bad thing. It wasn't really a good thing. It was just one of those things that just kind of like, you know, we felt like we needed to take care of our kids more. I mean, it's really, with us, it's all about 757. There ain't no ifs, ands, or buts about it. It's like, it's either you know, I mean, don't get me wrong, we got love for the 804, we got love for everybody else, but where we from is who we got to take care of. Mm-hmm. And the minute that, you know, we feel like, okay, that we can do a little bit more for our programming, for the people that's around here, then we got to do what we got to do. It's as simple as that. So, I mean.
So it wasn't no bad relationship. It was just like y'all just trying to take care of 757.
Nah, no animosity, no beef whatsoever. It was just like, you know, after the season was over, we had a discussion, and then, you know, we was just like, okay, well, 7.5 is 7.5, and like we just felt like we can do more with keeping our kids here than, you know, just running them back and forth to Richmond like every other weekend, man. After a while, it gets taxing. Like, we got families too, so it's like, if we can keep everything around here, that works out for us.
That's the same with like 7 Cities Hoop Tape. Everybody be like, why you don't go shoot 804? 7 Cities Hoop Tape.
It's taxing.
I mean, it's other videographers that's in the Richmond area.
Yeah. I mean, don't get me wrong. Everybody want to go global, man. But I mean, sometimes it ain't even worth it. Sometimes you just want to keep things where it's at, man. You want to take care of your own, man.
You also gotta look at the whole situation on like grassroots basketball and grassroots branding. If you go to like DC, you got like you started out like when I was coming up, probably when you was coming up too, playing basketball. It was DC Assault, it was DC Blue Devils.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like it was like Richmond Squires, Boo Williams. So it was like within that 4 hours of a drive period, it's about 5 teams.
Exactly.
If you go to North Carolina, they got about 5-6 teams. They got Chris Paul's real heavy right now in North Carolina. Then you got Team Felton with Raymond Felton. Then you got John Wall had his situation.
Garner Road.
You got Garner Road. You got Team Charlotte. You got Team United. So that's one state. Now look at us, Virginia. We really only had 2. We should have like 4. Like it should be like everybody should have like a good crop of kids at a 16U, 17U level, and have about good 12 to 20 kids. All of them should be able to go.
Yeah, and then like
you know what I mean? They all should be able to get the success of playing and having these big conference come recruiting.
Yeah. And then you got kids putting all they hopes and dreams in 2 programs, and then if you don't make that team, then what?
Yeah. I mean, well, you on an A or B team, right?
Yeah, I mean,
because I remember when I played, Boo Williams had 1 team, and then like you just had 1 team, but now it's like 3 Boo Williams 17U teams.
But I mean, how many B team kids get love though? I mean, let's just be honest about it. I mean, you can say, okay, well shoot, we gonna do this team right here, but if you focusing and you making that B team work, then that's cool. You know what I'm saying? Because you know it's always a stage for everybody. But the thing about it is, it's like how many programs are really putting effort behind the kids that aren't the exception. See what I'm saying? Like, okay, everybody wants the opportunity to get recruited, but if all you doing is focusing on those kids that are going to get there anyway, or those kids that are like those stars, what happens with the rest of the kids?
True. And
then it's like, okay, well, they want a shot too. So the same thing you do for one, you should do for the other. That's how we look at it. It's like, okay, well, you know, these kids can play, and we know these kids can play, and we're going to put the spotlight on those kids anyway. We want to take that spotlight and share some of that spotlight with the other kids. We want to make sure that we try to take care of as many kids as we can, not just those kids who we know can play on that next level, because everybody deserves a chance, man.
Yeah. Right.
So the new brand y'all been pushing is called Team Push. That's crazy.
Of course.
So how did that come about? Like, how did the name come about? How did it all, like, y'all two and P as well?
Yeah, and P, yeah. I mean,
So how did that start?
We was brainstorming one day, and we was, you know, playing around with the idea of what would catch a lot of people's eye you know,
in this area.
In this area.
Mm-hmm.
It had to be something different, something unique. You know, threw a couple ideas around. Some made it work, some didn't, and then we was just like, okay, hold on, man. Team Push, that sounds about right. And then of course, you know, we started making a couple phone calls after we came up with the name. And we was like, well, shoot. I mean, Push from the 7-5. Let's see if we can make a couple phone calls to see if we can make it work. Mm-hmm. Just so happens we, you know, Purvis knows some people that are close to that young man, and you know, they put the phone call in. He was excited about the idea. He co-signed off on what we had going, and the rest is history, man. That's how it started.
So he is down with it?
He is down with it.
Okay, so that clears the air. Push is down with Team Push.
Exactly. I mean, my thing is like, even with that, and you know, we talk about stuff all the time, and we look at like these programs out here now, and you know, everybody's trying to gain big sponsors or big names behind their program. Mm-hmm. It's not always the case where you get a big name. Sponsors change all the time, where you might go from being with this person and then it changes up and you go with that person. It's just, you know, we wanted to build a brand for us. Regardless of, you know, if Push is behind us or not, even though he is, it's still our program. This is something that we did for the 757. So my thing is we're trying to provide an outlet for kids to reach their dreams and their goals. Mm-hmm. Regardless of who's behind the program, 1, 2, 3, whoever's with our program is working for these kids to try to get them to the next level. It shouldn't be about, you know, who's doing what for who. As long as we're taking care of the kids, that's the only thing that matters.
True. So why should a kid like go with a startup program rather than Team Loaded or Boo, since they've been around?
You want that?
You can actually go to a program like the Fairfax Stars or something. Let's just use that as a case and example. And if you're a dedicated 40%, 50% like shooter, or you're a dedicated turnover ratio point guard, and you can get that done, this is how you get guys like a C.J. McCollum that came up. He played at Lehigh. He was at a top program at the end of his career, but he started at a low program. You can look at a case in the point where, let's say, Armando Bacot played a year at JV. So when you got a startup program and you keep trying to get kids like the help in the gym, you're gonna probably fall in one of those diamonds in the rough. And once you get a diamond in the rough, you can build on that, and then your program starts to get a little cement in it. You got a guy that come in, he might be a top guy. He plays at a program where he can probably get some overseas success. He might get some NBA success. If he can get some NBA success, now other kids gonna want to emulate that. And then other kids gonna say, well, I saw him do it, I can do it. You know, like pretty much teenagers do that. They do off kind of like what the trend is. And like he said, like with the Team Push name, a lot of people use that in our area anyway with the stand of pray until something happens. Yeah. You know, some guys had a clothing line like that, so it's kind of like a trend name in our area anyway. So, but with the 757, we're competitive, so it's going to be some type of form or fashion of a kid saying, hey, why can't I be the guy for that? And once you get that going, you're probably going to have success if everybody sticks to the plan. Everybody kind of knows that they're trying to be Division I signees. Because our area, we kind of like really faltering at that. Like you got like 1 or 2 guys that might be going to the ODU conference, USA type of conference. We should have 4 guys in our area to do that. Just like we should have like 4 or 5 teams that's competitive. So if you got 1 guy that's the player of the year in the 757, why not have 4 or 5 guys that can play at that same level? It's kind of hard to pick the player of the year. The player of the year should be a different player every year. It's like that in big cities. So, you know, it's just competition that we're trying to create, and it's also like a different avenue for success.
So,
like when kids was playing with y'all under the Team Loaded brand, were y'all getting kids in school?
Well, I mean, you can just look at the track record. I mean,
yeah,
it's more or less like it's not the brand. It's not the brand that's pushing, you know, these kids into school. It's their ability to play and what you're doing to help these kids get out there to these coaches. A lot of these coaches say, yo, we're trying to get into 757. We talk to them every day. So if you're trying to get into 757, I can market to these schools who I feel like is going to help their program succeed.
Mm-hmm.
That's regardless of if it's a kid at Lakeland or a kid at Bishop Sutherland, kid at Cape Henry, it really doesn't matter. Just because he goes to this school doesn't mean he's not, good enough to play on that next level. It's just a matter of you knowing that kid's ability and that if their skill set is going to fit that program's needs. That's all we try to do. But the thing about it is if all I'm doing is marketing and focusing on, like I said, one kid or 2 or 3 kids, that's not helping everybody. Our plan is to help everybody, from Suffolk to Hampton to Williamsburg. I don't care if you live out in Tab. I mean, it don't really matter to me. You can live in Surrey County, Smithfield. If you can play, we gonna find you.
Yeah, you gotta kind of want to embrace the new outlet for you to be able to kind of be outgoing, like just as much as like the program wants to be outgoing. They want a new breath of fresh air, like a new type of regime where they're gonna start something new. Kids want the same situation, because if you grow up in an area and a lot of those kids that get the success over other kids, they're gonna say, well, they can go to another route, and they have more confidence now, and it gets them to think better. They have a little bit more self-confidence that they know they got somebody in a grassroots organization that has their back. So
do y'all got kids signing up to play for y'all now?
Yeah, it's gonna actually, it's probably gonna grow. It's probably gonna grow, man. Every day it's gonna probably be somebody new. Yeah. It's just like, if you seen how the shoe company did with Under Armour, how they came in and started out okay, they kind of reached out, then it grew. Now Steph Curry's Under Armour, he's the face of Under Armour. So you take a gamble, you get a gamble. Some people didn't think Steph Curry could play because of his ankles. Yeah. They didn't think it would be a big situation. They took a gamble on Steph Curry, and now look what they got.
You got Under Armour moving into the area too. I mean,
it's like,
you got Steph. Steph Welsh he got like District Wag. They were Under Armour, so they moved into the region, and that's another outlet that people are going to try to use to, to get on to that next level. And then you still got Boo, and then I guess if they run a Loaded team, you still have Loaded. So that's still 4 brands right there.
So there's no more Loaded 757's
right now? I'm not sure. I mean, that's not in our jurisdiction. Like, I'm gonna be honest with you. I'll be honest with you, man. To be honest with you is with us. I care about all the kids, but to me, with this being our program, I got to put all my focus in the team push. So, like same thing with Twin, and same thing with Purvis and Coach Cox and Coach Clint.
How many teams y'all looking to get this year?
Well,
to start off with,
we was looking at what?
It'll be a multiple team. Yes. It'll be a multiple team opportunity.
Situation.
You're gonna base around your freshmen, sophomore, and juniors.
We got some strong 8th graders. We got the kid,
get your good crop of kids.
Nathan Hathaway that plays at Crestwood. A couple of those Crestwood kids, man, they can play. And a couple of those 8th graders at Bishop. But you got
There's gonna be some good kids coming up.
You got some good kids, man.
In the ranks, it'll be a good.
I like
group.
Aiden. Y'all got Aiden?
Yeah.
Aiden is good, man.
Aiden is tough, man.
It's gonna be some good high IQ kids. Yeah. It's gonna be some good high IQ talent to be, coached and signed too. Also, okay, coach is really good to get a lot of people commitments. You see kids get commitments every day, but who's gonna sign? Who's gonna kind of put their ink on that paper and get that free situation to be able to travel in and out of the country? All these low majors, they got the Atlantic 10 schools going to Hawaii and Maui now. So that's a blessing to be able to say, man, I made a Division I program. We're flying in and out the country, and we're being able to, kind of live like grown men. So that's the main objective. That's why you got the Travis Fields and the Donald Hicks. That's just a loaded 757 program that had 757 kids. And then you had some 757 kids that played up on the, Trey Freeman was a kid that didn't play in the major circuit. Trey Freeman was all ODU, You let the NCAA score. And then did it with Campbell. Like he just was just showing his talents everywhere. So you see how kids can come do it with the AAU organization. It kind of goes right back to that question about will kids sign up and be successful? Of course. Because the college coaches coming to the area, we just got to keep more coming. And that's what the grade situation and signing also is going to be key. And we big on that too.
Big on grades.
We big on that with the grade situation, because They got to be able to go through that school and qualify.
Yeah, that's the one thing I'm like Gerard Simpkins. I thought he was for sure out of here. Play that Bishop.
He's a baller though.
Like
he's a baller though.
Like,
he's a
there's
baller
no
though.
way he should not be playing basketball right now.
Yeah.
And I heard I haven't talked to him, but I heard it was just a great situation.
Right. And you want to kind of clean those up as much as possible. You want to try to keep Deshaun Corporal took like a super long route to get there.
But he did.
But he got there.
Yeah.
So you try to cut the route out as much as possible. So you go. So if the coach say, "I'm coming to get you to play with team push," and you be like, "Well, look." You can kind of go.
They just start and y'all. The question we get all the time: y'all on the circuit? Y'all on the circuit?
Well, just come play in front of 20 coaches. See who like you. It ain't about really. It ain't really about who you like. It's about who like you. So you got to go in front of these conferences, the MAC conference, the Big South, the Sun Belt, like just a lot of these different conferences. Let's say the Atlantic 10. Let's say the Atlantic Conference with Memphis and East Carolina and Cincinnati and all those guys. So if you can kind of make yourself useful, it's how you create the small town kids that nobody believes in, like a Mac McClung. You know what I mean? Like, look at this, look how it goes. Like these guys, you just build their resume on these guys.
Gates County.
You know what I mean?
You figure we played the hoop group circuit, man, and let me be honest with you,
Man,
like
some of those kids
for the kids that we had playing the hoop group circuit, right? And we didn't take anybody from outside of our area. I mean, outside of the 757 and Richmond area. Well, we got a St. Joe's. You got a Siena.
But you also had
that's
like,
big time, man.
Yeah, you also had kids in a low level circuit getting the Virginia Techs and stuff. It's been going on for a while.
They're getting looks.
It's been going on for a while where kids was getting the small time AAU tournaments, were getting some big time looks to reach in there after a while. It's a little long of a route, but
maybe a lot of coaches.
I mean, you look at a kid,
exactly.
But you look at a kid like Kyrie Temple or AJ James, man. Like they getting looked at some of the biggest. Yeah, they getting looked at some of the biggest schools, like around here. Yeah. Like I mean, I'm like fielding calls on these guys like every day. Kyrie's ridiculous. and AJ went for like 48 the other
48, yeah, 48.
And then but the crazy thing about it is
the area has it. You gotta put more and more on top of them.
I feel like AJ having 48. I mean, it's good to hear that he had 48, but coaches also want to see it.
Yeah,
like kids want to be seen now. You know what I'm saying? I feel like that's gonna be everybody's biggest issue going to this AAU season.
Yeah, but just because my thing is just because you on that circuit don't mean that they gonna like you. I mean, I ain't trying to be funny or nothing like that. Is when you on that circuit, you playing in front of high major coaches every day. So if you ain't high major, why would you even? I mean, that's like a coach posed a question on Twitter the other day. He said, "Would you rather be the 7th or 8th man coming off a shoe circuit team bench, or would you rather start on a dang going program where you gonna play shoe circuit teams and you gonna put in that work?"
Yeah.
And I mean, it's as simple as that. Like me personally, I'd rather be busting your ass than watching somebody else play. I mean, that's just me. Like I'd rather be in the fire than sit back at the campfire. You know what I'm saying, with my hands up, trying to stay warm. It's as simple as that. These kids don't want to do that these days.
Yeah, you got to get a lot of reps in. You got to get a lot of reps in at your position too. You got to be able to get some reps in. You got to get some touches, and you got to be able to see if you can work your moves against high level players. Yeah. You know what I mean? Like each time we both speaking, we naming certain players. You just got to be able to do that because like I can go to another case. Like I can keep naming cases on what I saw. Like Keldon Johnson was playing in a small town in like South Hill, Virginia, or whatever. Yep. So automatically, as an 8th, 9th grader, he had to get the ball in his hands right away. Just like AJ James and these guys that you're naming. Like it's really rare that you don't see them successful. All they have to do is just keep following the blueprint to get the ball in their hands so they can be able to get to that level where they need to be. You know what I mean? Because Breonte Weber played at Great Bridge. And he was around kids that was less talented than him, but he always had the ball in his hands. So when he always had the ball in his hands, he was able to go to a high-level conference and never have to worry about pressure. You get what I'm saying? And I can keep going on and on like you know, like you playing, and then your boy Darius James playing behind y'all when y'all left. It just wasn't demanded with you, but without you guys, now it's demanded that you got to continue to keep these guys to win. So now your possessions have to be kind of less like turnovers, and you got to be smart. You got to be a player.
More meaningful, yeah.
So you can see how that's the blueprint. So we got, like you're saying, we're going right back to what we're doing this whole interview about. Like now we got to do this in the 7-5 though.
Exactly.
That's how many times you can get a Darius James every year. At least that type of.
Exactly.
At least that type
I
of.
feel
Matt
like
Coleman.
I feel like I got them players out here.
Like you said, Kyrie, Mike Christmas, Dejour Rucker. Like you name these players, and you just keep them. Like you got to get at this level. And then you knowing a lot of kids overseas. The goal is you can do this forever if you want to, because if you graduate from a conference USA, you still can make about 70 bands. You still can make 60 bands, and you can come back within 6 months and say, yo, like I can kick my feet back up.
That's what I did.
I know.
And you know,
Mike Anderson, he's still overseas.
Exactly.
Des Lee, he playing in Canada right now. Kelly Violet, one of my teammates, he's still in Puerto
you
Rico.
know, Denzel
Bowles. He's still
so
doing
Denzel Bowles been
a
playing.
lot of people on Kendrick they still doing their thing overseas.
With the Shores.
Stephen Pleasure been playing forever overseas.
He's been playing, Steve.
Dawkins.
Dawkins. Frank Hassell is an overseas guy. Vernon Macklin is really successful overseas. So we need to really invest in like all these guys coming around to keep making this whole basketball world go around.
Exactly.
You know what I'm saying? Yeah. And with that being said, they can kind of come back and we can do something big, man. It could be like more tournaments in the summer. It could be like Rucker Park if you get all those guys to kind of form that alliance in this basketball brotherhood.
That's what I'm going to try to build.
Exactly. That's why we all here today. But once LeVar Ball said you can build your own brand, we all our own brand. We all our own brand.
I feel like he definitely changed the game with how basketball is thought now. He got the parents involved a whole lot.
Yeah, like we all branded now.
I get DMs from parents. Why my kid not know anything? I'm like all the time. It's like crazy. The parents are way too involved.
When I get DMs about why the 7 Cities hoop gang come to my game? That's your man. I'm like, yo, hold on, that's my man. Yeah, that's my man. But goddamn, he can't be everywhere. He ain't got a clone. Grace, he only can go to one game a night.
I think I got the program, or I got like the way I do my media. It look like it's more of me, but it's only just me.
Yeah, I know. It's crazy. Because everybody be like, why he ain't come to our games? I'm like, yo, man, he's one person, man. What are you talking about? He can't be in everywhere. He can't be it.
But let's go back to the team loaded. Like 2 years ago,
gotcha.
You had your own brand. Well, 3 years ago, you had the Chesapeake Thunder.
Yes.
And then, like, why'd you stop that and then go to Team Loaded?
Because I had my own brand and we was doing good. But then we needed a bigger stage. So with us needing a bigger stage, you know what I'm saying? I was like, okay, I got to figure out a way to get these kids recruited. It's not just about playing games. It's not just about playing games and like trying to see how many wins you can get. It wasn't about that. I was like, okay, we winning, but ain't no coaches coming. So I was like, okay. And then, of course, I knew Twin. So Twin was like, Clay, won't you come get down with Team Loaded? You know what I'm saying? This will work. He laid out the blueprint for me. I started thinking. I said, you know what? That shit just might work. So then I got with Team Loaded, when Twin and them brought me in with Team Loaded, I said, okay, this is gonna work. So then when we built the first team, of course it was me, Twin, and Purvis. We built the first team, and everybody was looking at us like, okay, man, hold on. These dudes can play. They can play, but they ain't that damn good. You know what I'm saying? And then we won everything that was moving.
and that was just like, cause if you and you know kind of how it go. You know what I mean? Deshaun, like it's more guys came and go. They built their craft up. Like you had different coaches coming in the program anyway, though. Like it was a couple coaches before Coach Clay came in. There was a couple coaches before me. And some guys have went and done different situations and kind of spread their wings and went wherever. So now with him having a 2 or 3 door window, he used the opportunity that he could use with it, you know. Because I've seen a lot of 2 or 3 door window guys, you know. Oscar Smith coach. LeVar Griffin was a team loaded coach for about 3 or 4 years. You know,
he was last year too, right?
Yeah.
That team was killing.
He coached the
40 and
VA, the VA 15s. Yeah.
So he went, from that hoop group circuit too, and and moved around too, and like different coaches, like like they just kind of take it and they maximize the measuring stick, and they get to the goal that they reach. They go. You can get. I had my own program. I'm gonna jump into a major program and I go right back to kind of building another own business, my program. You know what I mean?
I mean, it was just one of those things where I was like, okay, it's comfortable. I like it. It's cool.
Man,
all right, well, back to taking care of the home team.
Well, what you got? Coach of the year for Team Loaded Day,
Coach
right?
of the year. Yeah. I mean, we only went 54-5.
You mean only?
Yeah, we lost 5 games though.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? I mean, but like I said, we took care of business with a bunch of kids that nobody knew about.
Those type of teams.
You know what I'm saying? I mean, you take somebody like an Isaiah Parker who nobody knew about. Nobody was like, okay, well he's big. Man, he ain't that good. You take a Caleb Butts. Oh, Caleb Butts is good. Yeah, but he ain't that superstar.
He's a bucket.
Yeah, you take Caleb Dawkins. He can shoot it, but he ain't his brother. I mean, and you take all those kids. You take like a kid like a Zion Chapman who just got dog in him. And then, I mean, you put all these kids.
He's one of my favorite players in there.
And you put all these kids on one team, and then you go clean everything up, and everybody's like, well, damn, where these dudes come from? Well, he helped architect the damn shit. I put it together. Purpose said, look, man, if we do this, this, and this, we gonna win. Once we coasted up, it was great. Even the situation last year, to be honest with you, we lost more games than we lost more games than we expected to win, than we expected to lose last year. But I mean, hell, you're talking about we still won about 30 damn games. But what it was the expectation was so damn high, and the kids, anytime the kids we went into Spooky Newt, we was undefeated. Well, we had lost like 2 games going into Spooky Newt, but they lost 2 games. They was upset.
Yeah.
I was like, bro, like if you going off of records, you still like 18-3.
Yeah.
The hell are you talking about? Like, I mean, you know what I'm saying? It was crazy, but the expectation level was so high because of the kids that we had. But those were all the kids that everybody had jumped off of their bandwagon and said, look, man, AJ James, he was good, but he ain't that good. We ain't gonna take him on this team. Dejo Rucker, he good, but we ain't gonna take him on our team. I mean, and all these kids that were just, left for dead on these so-called circuit teams that, everybody was like, yeah, man, these kids are superstars.
Even Kyrie played with.
When Kyrie tore his ACL, Kyrie played with Boo. He tore his ACL, and no disrespect to nobody. I mean, it is what it is. They left the man for dead. He's hurt. He ain't coming back. This, that, and the third. Okay, well, we gonna take Kyrie, and we gonna show you what he can do. Kyrie come back. Kyrie had like 4 offers this year. I mean, AJ James. Far. Yeah, so far. But then now the kids talking about, yo, I might prep. Then everybody's like, oh, Kyrie, we love you. Where the hell was you at last year? I mean, no disrespect.
Yeah.
Same thing with AJ James. AJ James is killing. He's scorching the earth right now.
Yeah.
Now all of a sudden, oh, we love AJ James. You didn't love him last year. These are the kids that superstars around here in the 757, and we keeping all the 757 kids here. So why now that they killing, now you want them back?
Yeah. You already pretty much summed it up and said that it's gonna be better than like a fallback situation, because there's some schools in the NCAA that if you can't really get it done, they'll come after you and help you out. You know what I mean? Like, and it's just like that with grassroots.
Yeah.
It's just like that with grassroots. That's what it's gonna be. Like, if you fall and they kind of push you to the side and you don't feel like you can get pushed back up, you know what I mean? We got the outlet for you. You know what I mean? You can kind of hold your head on something, and you got to work hard though. You know what I mean? And you gotta be dedicated, and you gonna get something out of it. You gonna get something. I can't promise you glitz and glamour and gold, but we gonna eat.
Yeah,
you know what I mean?
Is there a formula to getting kids in school?
Yeah.
First off, you gotta do some damn schoolwork.
It is like you gotta kind of be what is like, if you kind of like, let's say you building a car, you gotta put a certain engine in it, you gotta make sure the fuel and the gas and stuff kind of convert over.
Yeah.
It's kind of like a Corvette. You know that they fast every time you get it. So if a college coach say, hey man, I want that Corvette because I want to kind of be able to drive and get where I want to go, we pretty much got nice size, nice well-running Corvettes.
What color you want?
It's got a good engine.
What color you want?
Yeah, you know, it's a good brand car.
Yeah.
You know, like it's a good brand car, and like you said, they ain't gonna lay down on you. They ain't gonna be no type of kids that's gonna be quitting. They're gonna succeed at academics, and they're gonna succeed at being able to handle themselves as college-grown men.
Exactly.
And maybe women if we start some girl situations.
Exactly.
You know what I mean?
Number one element to the thing is like you gotta do schoolwork. I mean, a lot of these kids, they think like, okay, they got the talent that people just gonna say, okay, you can play. No. You got the talent, you can play. You gotta do the schoolwork first.
They don't understand the lower your GPA is, the higher you gotta score on the SAT,
or the
ACT, all of that.
Yeah, and if it's the long route,
and you gotta do that to qualify. That's first.
Yeah. If it's the long route, we'll push you on the long route, but you gotta take it. You gotta accept it. You know, you gotta take the long route, and you gotta push for it, and you gotta accept it. You know, we all been playing around some kids that could have been and would have been, and you know, I don't really do that and say no names on about who could have been and would have been. Just know what you can do for yourself now. You know, push for yourself now. Take the long route. Take the short route, just don't make it hard on yourself. Do what you got to do.
So what's the long route? What, prep school?
Because sometimes,
sometimes it happens though.
Yeah.
Sometimes that's what you got to do because those first 2 years of high school, you can't get those back.
Yeah. Right. You get what I'm saying? Yeah. Then it's like in another city, another town, small, and you're away from where it could have been. You know, it could have been like a university or like Central Florida where you be in Orlando, nice weather, nice palm trees. Already your freshman year.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Okay, I'm gonna tell you another thing, and I'm gonna flip to this. You know how football had 3 guys that went to college early. Cam Kelly from Oscar Smith, Sheridan Jones, and I think it was another kid. They didn't have to take the long route. They was in but with the 3.5, 4.0. They on the college campus now lifting weights. You know what I mean? Eating on their free will, learning how to get in their dorm rooms, and they got the head of a college freshman.
Yeah.
You know, they got the head start.
They gonna come in ready. Something like that.
That's keeping the long routes.
But I feel like it's a lot of kids in football. They go to like high majors, but like this area in basketball, they don't go. They go to like mid majors unless they go to prep school. But I feel like it depends what prep school you go to.
Yeah, that's true also.
Because Lake Taylor, his situation.
Right. See, that was a good situation for him.
Yeah, but I feel like everybody tried to do that now, and they see all the offers he get, and then they go to CBA. What the fuck is CBA?
Well, like I said, I don't knock CBA.
I really know too much idea.
I don't knock CBA because
I was looking at it from
we looking at it from the outside. You know what I'm saying? From the outside looking in. So I don't, we don't know, like you said, we don't know too much about it. But you're right. Everybody's taking what Darion did, but it's almost like a copycat league. Everybody's taking what Darion doing, saying, okay, well, I can do it too. Well, it might not work like that for you. You know what I'm saying? People don't know Darion went to Mass None, but Darion was in ROTC the whole damn time he was in high school. Yeah. So he was used to like that military style type of school. Okay, well, how you gonna take somebody else and say, well, I'm gonna go to Mass None, I'm gonna do this, or I'm gonna go to Fourth Union? You might not be used to that. Yeah. See what I'm saying? And it might not work out for you. JUCO might be the best route for you, but then kids don't. Oh, I don't want to go to no JUCO. I heard you. School is school.
I wanted to go to JUCO.
Yeah,
school is school, man.
You know some of the routes that JUCO done for people.
Exactly.
We all do. We all
know some JUCOs right now that's living better than some D1s. But I mean.
And what it's done for certain people.
Exactly.
You know what I mean? Like, yeah, it has done it. You know what I mean? It's a longer situation, but if you focus on it and you put your work in, you got to do the schoolwork.
Desley went through a JUCO before he got to NC State. That's right, NC State, ACC.
Exactly.
You took a JUCO. You know what I mean? The Chavis kid went to JUCO. They went to Norfolk State. whether it was
he's thriving off of
that wasn't a backwards move. That was a kind of jump move. He had to go to Kansas, be uncomfortable and be in a little small town, and he went back to the crib. And he kind of made the college life good for himself.
And then you got Rob Jones. You got Rob Jones and CJ putting him in a good position that make him look really good. You know what I'm saying?
He get the team hyped too.
Yeah.
Like, he's ready.
He a bucket. He come off the bench with energy. He
didn't lead the game. He didn't lead the game alone. You know what I mean?
Exactly.
Like, he stayed with it.
That's why
the guys I like. That's us. That's a 7-5 though.
Yeah.
You know
That's
what I
why I like Zion so much.
Chapman.
Because like for your team, when y'all was nice, I mean he could have started.
Energy.
But he took that back row and he used to get buckets off the bench.
Yes, sir.
And had like 6 steals a game.
Yes, sir.
And now you see him now as a senior, probably like averaging like 7 steals.
Yeah.
Averaging 20 plus.
Yeah.
Right.
But then you looking at him, it's like, okay, well shoot. Let's see what we can do for him. Like I said, that's that, and that goes back to like everybody getting a chance.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying? Like, even though Zion played for me 2 years ago, I still talk to this kid all the time.
Mm-hmm.
Like, I talk to kids all the time. Like, he talk to kids all the time. We still work for kids even when they don't play for us.
Yeah. I
mean, granted, if you play for us, we're going to take care of you more than we taking care of the kids that don't play for us. But just think about that. Like, let's take, like, a kid like Kendall Brown. I talk to Kendall, like, every other day. Great kid, excellent student, you know what I'm saying, getting it done on and off the court. Like, we making it work, you know what I'm saying? Because even though he didn't play for me, he still live where I live at. I still want to see this kid succeed. Yeah. So I'm like, okay, whatever call I can make for this kid, I'm going to make it. Because I want to see him get there. You know what I'm saying?
3-point guard, I like him.
And he's good.
You want to go back home
exactly.
and watch your, you know what I mean, all the kids that's in the little front yard when you come back home. You want to make sure that you can't turn your back at the crib.
Exactly.
You can go to a couple of high major shoe companies and work for them and intern all you want to. You still got to go back to the crib and face those people.
Where you live at?
You know what I'm saying? Right, Deshaun? You still got to go back and go to. Like, seriously, you got to go get you some. You know what I mean? A chicken sandwich or a fish sandwich and see the people.
They say, where you from?
You know what I mean? You still got to go back home.
Where you from, man? Look, man, you can stay here, stay there all you want to, man. Look, where was you born at, man? Where you live at, man? Where you grow up at? I grew up in the 7-5, man. Mm-hmm. Ain't no ifs, ands, or buts about that. I grew up here.
See the people.
We got to take care of people
right here, man. I mean, who knows what I'm going to be doing in 5 or 10 years, but I'm going to say they got something to eat off. They got something to kind of rest their head off.
Exactly.
In the 7-5.
That's just like we went to the VCU game. My man Marcus Evans was at Rice. Went to the VCU game. He said, "Hey, what's up, man? 7-5, baby. I'll be over there and take pictures with y'all in a minute." I mean, it's just love. It's just love, man.
It's mandatory.
It's
mandatory. Ain't nobody really gonna love you like that. You like you say, you talking about like even the success and the career of Allen Iverson. Those people around him still had a thrill because he was with them. They was with him. It was the love. They had the tattoos and the love that they had.
Yeah, exactly.
You know what I mean? And the guys in the NBA said, "Man, I kind of want to be like Allen Iverson." All the guys that played in 2010. All the 2010 players and the NBA from the millenniums, right? We call them millennials. Like the 80 babies, the 90 babies, and the millennials. The millennials was like, yo, I remember when Iverson had all the crew and they would always wear their jerseys at the post conference, at the post and pre-game.
He changed the whole game.
Like the swagger, you know what I mean? They said, yo, we're going to get the tattoos. And then look, they put the one arm band here and they put the long sleeve on. Like, it was just crazy. Mm-hmm. And we was like, well, we're going to bring the culture back again and again, the 7-5. You know what I mean? Everybody has that urban kind of like culture. Like, we got big hearts, man. Our hearts bigger than what it is.
That, man. It's like, that's what we from.
We wear our hearts on our sleeve in that 7-5, man. You know what I mean? One way or another.
What's the biggest kid that y'all coach? Like,
what you mean as far as like
kid getting in school? Like, what school that y'all got?
Well, okay, from a 1 year basis, you can see that DeJour Rucker, Keenan, the big Bishop Sullivan.
What schools?
St. Joseph's, which is Atlantic 10, and then DeJour Rucker, Conference USA, Sean Walker, like a lot of those guys.
You can just check the track record. I mean, ain't no disrespect to nobody. I ain't trying to be funny or nothing like that, man. And some of these kids had these offers before we got them. Some of them had them. Once we got them, it is what it is. We ain't trying to steal credit for nothing. Antoine Epps, Hampton. Danny Bannister, Hampton. Keenan Sarvan, St. Joe's. Sean Walker, Siena. Dejor Rucker, Marshall. AJ has multiple D1 offers.
Yeah, you do.
Kyrie has multiple D1 offers. Daquan has Division II offers.
So like,
Like we talking about damn near the whole team. Like we not. I mean that's just last year, and you're not even including the team before that with Butts who has offers. Dawkins has offers. Like you talking about a whole team. We ain't talking about one kid. Now you tell me, and I want you to think about this. How many programs in the 7-5, and that's including Boo, had the whole team get offers? The whole team.
Last year, you had the whole team get offers.
Damn near the whole team.
Yeah.
And all of them signed. And if they didn't sign, it's because they haven't signed, because it's something that they have to do in order to get signed, but that's beyond our reach. You know what I'm saying? But the whole team has offers. So once we got everybody in that 2019 class straight, now we done already got them straight. We already started working on 2020 kids.
Yeah.
And 21 kids. I mean, I ain't trying, game recognized game. And it's just respect. It's a respect thing. If you could tell me somebody else is doing it, let me know. Let me know.
When did you start getting into coaching?
I mean, once I got out of college, I was like, okay, well, basketball was my first love anyway.
What was you doing in college?
Let's coach rat. I mean, I ain't gonna lie to you. I was like, I'm gonna coach rat. Once I got out of school with my biology degree from Crystal Newport, I said, I'm gonna coach rat. I coached rat like 4 or 5 years. It's like, man, kept winning championships. I was like, this too easy. You know what I'm saying? I started coaching middle school basketball, won a couple championships. I was like, this too easy too. So I was like, maybe I should coach high school. But then I started looking at like all the landscapes and stuff like that. How you got to get on somebody's staff and you got to work your way up. And I was like, okay, that's cool. I just coach an AAU team for right now until, I decide I want to take a high school job. I mean, I had high school jobs offered, JV jobs offered. I mean, once I got
different for a high school because you can't do as much. You can't recruit. You can't.
Man.
But the only result is for high school you might be getting paid. I don't know how AAU you don't really get paid.
But see, high school is tough. High school is tough. I ain't gonna sit here.
High school, you gotta be dedicated.
Yeah, and I got nothing but respect. Yeah, I got nothing but respect for like the high school coaches because it's like you got kids in your area. You know what I'm saying? And you got to like get the best kids in your area that's in your zone. You know what I'm saying? Like, okay, these kids live in my zone. So I got to take the best kids in my zone. Or if somebody happens to pop up in my zone, then that's cool. But you got to take what's in your zone and make it work. That's hard. Yeah. I ain't going to sit here and lie to you. That's hard. AAU is hard too due to the fact that you got to actually go and recruit these kids. Like, you got to be like, okay, well, look, I ain't got no sneakers to give you. I ain't got no sneakers to give you. And look, I can't promise you you're playing for free. I can't do none of that stuff. You know what I'm saying? But this is what I can promise you. I'm going to promise you I'm going to work for you. You know what I'm saying? I'm going to promise to get you as much media attention as I can. You know what I mean? I'm going to promise that, we going to go to every event that's going to have coaches there. We trying to go to every event where all the smoking. It's as simple as that. I'm going to put you in every position that I can to have you win, and then I'm going to try to sell you myself. You know what I mean? That's what we do. But it's a little bit more on the college side. AAU is a little bit more on the college side because you actually have to go out and recruit. You have to go out and sell these kids and these parents your program and let them know, look, this is what we're doing. We want your kid to be a part of this. And sometimes it works for the kids, and sometimes it doesn't. Sometimes your program ain't they fit. I respect it all because sometimes it's not. Sometimes you get a kid and he might be a superstar and you be like, man, this kid can play. But then he might not fit what you want to do.
I felt like last year I had too many superstars. Like everybody that y'all had last year is a superstar in their high school.
Exactly.
Team. I was like that.
And when the game was on the line, everybody wanted to be that player.
Yeah,
and
but
that was kind of
nobody knew how to take a back seat.
And that was kind of like we was trying to, we was trying to put that together and really make it work to the point where we wanted to make sure, like, because we can be loyal to our own area at a fault.
Mm-hmm.
And that's our weakness, but we'll live with that.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? But that was kind of like a lot of us taking the time and forming on what it should have been, like two-a-days. Mm-hmm. It should have been mandatory stuff on like team concepts. So when all the guys kind of got to that notion of trying to get offers, that's when you see the superstar ball on come out. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Sometimes, you just gotta want to win, and then once you win enough,
that's how.
You want to win enough.
When we was at Toll, I felt like we was all superstars, but the way Coach Mick,
like exactly,
I don't know what he did. A lot of us took the back seat, and we went 27-3.
Yeah. Right. But see, I gotta put that on me too, though.
A lot of us, we kind of figure out like now what we know now, like. And that's a good lesson to be learned, like, because you're going to continue to get a lot of superstars, alpha males. Uh-huh. And that's where I came in. That's why the value of going to a high school and sitting through these practices and being a high school assistant coach, like, okay, now I got to put this type of work ethic into the summer.
And like I said, that's where, like, the wins don't mean nothing to me, man. I ain't going to lie to you. The wins is cool, and it's cool to get there, play on Sunday, all that's cool and everything like that. My thing is like, when these kids, I feel where I have to make these kids understand that when they get to college, everybody on the team is like that. Like, it's just like pros. Like, you might look at the last man on the bench and say, man, he bum. He don't. Bro, the last person on the bench, or that NBA bench, will bust your ass. I mean, ain't no ifs, ands, or buts about it. Even in college, everybody don't get to play college basketball.
You see how much of the game you got to
respect. You know what I'm saying? So you gonna take this superstar from Missouri and put this superstar from Philly and take this superstar from Virginia. You better get along with this dude.
You gotta make it work.
You gotta make it work. And that's where I failed as a coach last year, because I was like, dang, I got all these superstars. I got all these kids. This kid averaged 20. This kid averaged 20. Double-double, double-double, double-double. Okay, well, they played good, but they didn't play as well as we thought they should have played. Mm-hmm. Like, we should have cleaned up a lot of people. But like I said, it came down to where it was like too many people wanting to be that alpha. Mm-hmm. Nobody wanted to say, okay, well, look, this is what I do best. You know what I'm saying? I'm going to do this, and I'm going to take a backseat to this, but that's my job. It's my job to make it work. His job to get the talent, my job to make it work. I did a poor job of making it work last year. You know what I'm saying? Even though we won that many games and we still compiled that resume,
we're gonna put it together.
I did a poor job with the chemistry last year.
And we didn't coach together a lot either, because we was kind of like making sure that these teams that we have, coming around with us, we want to make sure those teams are intact first. So we kind of was like spread it apart, but a lot of things gonna be more together, like a training camp. USA teams got all the kids on. It don't really matter if you're a rookie or you're a 10-year veteran. You're gonna be in the same gym for a while.
Completely different mindset.
We're gonna do that. We're gonna do that too, though. We gotta kind of put all that together.
Discipline, man. It gotta be some discipline.
You know what I mean? It's gotta be some structure and some order. And you know what I mean? Like, another thing that is real big too is when a lot of people coaching, like you had at your high school, you gotta have the right rotation. See, that's what I'm gonna come in at this year. And you know what I mean? Like, 'cause he had the put,
he had 17, you had 16.
Exactly.
Right? So
he has to understand rotation. Yeah, like his rotation that's gonna work. I'm gonna look at this and say that works, or that doesn't work, and then you got to get the right guys, because that's what college coaches want to see too.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like they also want to see the top shooting guard with the top point guard and stuff like that. You know what I mean? Because when I watched KD play, his #1 point guard was Ty Lawson. So they would watch and make sure that both of them was on the same page. They both was thinking about going to North Carolina together, but something swayed KD to go to Texas. Yeah. You know what I mean? Ty Lawson ended up going to North Carolina. But they had played together so long, you know what I mean? Boom, 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 boom. You know what I mean? Like, if you look at it too, I'll go back to another situation. I think like Darius kind of had a good situation with always knowing what type of tough player Ben was when he got to ODU too. Because they had respect for each other. Yeah. You know what I mean?
Ben didn't like Ben in high school, but when he got there,
Ben was a little, Ben knowledge, like the aura about Ben, you had to respect it. Like Ben was doing that Draymond stuff before Draymond.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Like Ben was doing Draymond before Draymond in our area. Ben was doing that, and then he got with Darius, and then Kent was like, everybody was like, yo, his energy crazy. Let's go with that too.
Yeah.
Like, and then he was like it or not, he spent time with us for 3 or 4 years. He was like 7'5"-ish.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like he kind of was
he grew on.
like he was 7'5". You know what I mean? And that's another thing that we were talking about. We're just building those right pieces to kind of make that, you know what I mean, that monument. You know what I mean? You want to put the right materials together, kind of have like that real sharp sword. That's what you kind of want to make, that real, that mighty weapon.
But I'm going to tell you, when they come together, it's going to be a lot of problems. It's going to be a lot of problems out here.
So what are y'all going to be playing in this year?
Of course, I mean, my thing is like we talked about the Gauntlet situation, and we talked about some other stuff. We can't turn our back on who we been rocking with the whole time, like Eric Kessler, Dave Fedor, Hoop Group guys, man. They've been real good to us. Even with us getting like the Adidas situation, you know what I'm saying, with Team Push, and with him throwing extra behind us and Adidas getting behind us, we was still like, yo, we still rocking Hoop Group, because that was like one of the first calls we got when they figured out, okay, well, Adidas is behind y'all. Are y'all playing on the Gauntlet? I was like, nah, we not leaving Hoop Group. Simple as that.
But I feel like it be mad coaches still like Hoop Group.
What they do?
It don't be like no less coaches. I mean, you might not be playing against the top one.
I mean, you might not have Roy Williams walking in the building like that,
but you gonna get a scholarship if you ball out at Hoop.
Man,
my thing is, you seen the course.
You changing your life. You still changing your life. You are changing your life.
I mean, I showed it even when I was doing the Locked and Loaded. I mean, I showed the
coaches,
the coaches every time.
Exactly.
To make sure,
like, do you see this? Like,
man, you changing your life.
You playing against some good talent.
And that's the whole thing. It's like, long as you playing in front of coaches and you making it work, then we good. That's my whole thing. Okay, Roy Williams ain't gotta walk in the building to look at that top, you know what I'm saying, top 10 kid or whatever. As long as these coaches still in the building, you got, you know what I'm saying, like the low majors, the low D1 majors, the mid majors, the high D1, you know what I'm saying? Like, you good.
Yeah.
These kids got to understand that, but some of them don't. Some of them just like, yeah, well, I'm on, this circuit, I'm playing on the EYBL, I'm playing on the Gauntlet. Okay, well, you playing on the Gauntlet, but my question to you is how many offers did you get off that Gauntlet?
Yeah.
How many offers did you get off that EYBL? So you just playing games just to be playing. Know what I'm saying? I mean, no disrespect, but I mean, no disrespect to like the circus or anything like that, but if that's not your level, then what are you doing?
Yeah. I think they just see the top players playing in those, so they want to mimic that.
Yeah, but everybody that play on that EYBL ain't a top player.
Yeah.
I mean, it's as simple as that. That's just like you can take kids that played on the Gauntlet around here or playing the EYBL around here, and they should be dominating these kids that they're playing against. Mm-hmm. That's not the case.
Yeah.
That's not the case. It's like you go to games, you say, man, they say, yo, man, that kid right there, he good. He play on the EYBL. Okay. And I don't say nothing. I go to games all the time. I sit back and I watch kids play. And I say, okay, well, he play on the EYBL. I know who the kid is. He don't look like the best player on the floor.
Yeah.
That kid play on the Gauntlet team. He don't look like the best player on the floor. The kid right there that played for the Pop Warner, the Pop Warner, whoever, is looking like the best kid on the floor, and don't nobody know who he is.
Yeah. I mean, it's just a grind. I think they want to look like they good instead of being good. You know what I mean?
They dress up and look the part. I'll be honest with you.
It's a lot of that. It's like they want to. I mean, that's why I started shooting or showing a full game.
Yeah.
Because with the screen recorder now, any kid, they can get their 1 or 2 play that they got. You know what I'm saying? I'm not gonna make a highlight every kid. You know what I'm saying?
Because every kid don't deserve it. I mean, not trying to be funny.
And I get mad, Andrew, he made a mixtape of a kid that scored 4 points. Mm-hmm. But he know the kid, cool kid. I ain't got nothing wrong with him. Be like, bro, you didn't deserve that. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. Now you got people giving you like, no, I'm not doing that. You know what I mean?
Well, that ruins your credibility too.
Yeah.
That's just like I was telling somebody the other day. I said, look, coach, man, you know, he said, tell me who's good down there. I said, well, you know, this kid's good, this kid's good. He said, Clay, I coach in the SEC. And look, I'm dead serious. And this was and I showed him the message. This is a prominent player that played around here.
Mm-hmm.
And he said, Clay, I need a guard. And I said, well, look at this kid right here. And he said, Clay, we playing the SEC, man. He said, what, you trying to get me fired? I said, oh damn, my fault. But what I'm trying to tell you is, though, Deshaun, this kid around here was a dog.
Mm-hmm.
And it's still something that they was looking for extra.
Exactly.
You got to make them love you.
Yeah.
Exactly. So that's
the SEC conference. You got to make them kind of want to salivate over you.
And I'm not gonna put the kid's name out there.
Right. You don't have to.
I mean, I'm not gonna put the kid's name out there.
Still loving the kids.
Yeah,
loving the kids.
But this kid was destroying kids around here. He was destroying them. And that guy looked at me like, all right, look, call me when you get something better than that.
Yeah.
And I left it alone, you know what I'm saying? I mean, but maybe a lot of people don't understand that, like, just because you good around here, that's around here. We gonna love you because you around here.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying? We gonna love you, and we gonna help you get to whatever level you want to get to because you around here, because you one of ours. You know what I'm saying? But you still got to understand that it's still bigger than around here. So you got to understand where you fall in at too.
Right. You got to come from here and then grow out of here, and then represent here when you grow out of here.
Exactly.
I feel like Antoine Miles was a D1 player. I was mad when he went to Virginia State.
Antoine he's special, man.
He's really good.
He's special. He's special.
And I wish, those situations make me stay in the 7-5 and grind, because I want to try to help every situation. I wish I could have had more hands on the situation. Sometimes 6 months ain't enough.
Yeah.
Sometimes 4 months ain't enough. It's like you wish you could have your hands on the situation.
Like, there's no way.
And he's one of those kids. He's one of those kids. He's one of those kids. We was like caught him late. You know what I'm saying? And it was like, well, Clay, he got hurt. You know what I'm saying? During like the first live period, I think he broke his wrist or dislocated his wrist or something like that.
Yeah, that's what it was.
So then he had to sit out the first live period. He came back late on the second live period, which was in July. So you know what I'm saying? And then we had to work with what he had from like those two events, like throughout his high school season. You know what I'm saying? So it was like one of those situations where it's like, okay, dude hurt, yo, we still love him. You know what I'm saying? Because that's our guy. But we got limited film on him, and we still got to try to sell him. You know what I'm saying? So it's like, okay, well, shoot. Let's just make some phone calls for him. And everybody's like, send me film. We had limited film on him. You know what I'm saying? All we had was like what you had on him.
Yeah.
We sending that out, and it's good. Well, he looked small, he looked this, he looked that. Dude is crazy. Have you seen him play? He's crazy. Well, I ain't seen him play because he's hurt, Clay. He hurt. You know what I'm saying? But I mean, we got it done, and of course, like when he get right next to CIAA,
he had some stuff with him. He had some stuff with him, like he had some different like level scoring type of special like ability. Like the kid can really put it together too. Like he knew what a pull-up shot was. He knew what the long ball was.
Mm-hmm. He had that.
You know what I mean? Change pace on you. And undersized, so the mentality grows.
Undersized, but he will bang on you.
Yeah. And then look at you like you crazy. That's you know what I'm saying.
Defense, like he respected the game.
Yeah.
And the game kind of like gives him a legacy in this area that we can respect from him from now on.
Exactly. He like Travis Fields. Mm-hmm. He kind of like Travis Fields. Like I say right now, even my man, I love T.I. to death. But if they build a statue outside of IC North right now, it should be Travis Fields. No disrespect.
But T.I. got 4 rings, right?
T.I. do got 4.
T.I. got 4 rings.
But
that statue should be Travis Fields.
What about Dodo? You can't forget about Dodo.
Oh, well, Dodo is the legend.
Dodo's a legend.
Right, you know, Dodo kind of like exactly. Dodo kind of like took it and put it on his shoulders and this is what it is. It's the new.
Okay, retired Dodo's jersey. Put the statue on Travis. Travis hit that game winner at BCU, man, and I was just like,
Yeah,
God,
that was ridiculous.
Constantly winning championships from a freshman all the way to a senior.
That was
Constantly beating competition. He's at AAU games where he's beating John Wall's team, and he's beating like Ghana Road teams by 20.
Yeah, but
you know what I mean? Like, he's beating shoe circuit teams to death.
But I respect that though. I respect what Dodo do. Dodo come back every year.
Yeah.
Throw a free camp every year.
Yeah,
free barbecue every year.
Correct.
That's like we got to get more of that. Cam Chancellor do the same thing.
That's
Cam
honorable.
Chancellor come back every year.
Right.
He give back every year. He ain't asking nobody for nothing. He just giving back just cause. Like I'm from the 757.
That's honorable.
You know what I'm saying?
You know what I mean?
And that's what make us want to do more and respect the area more because these dudes is doing it and they made it out. So why can't we help somebody who want that chance to make it out?
Right. We locking arms and trying to build a wave. And just kind of like just get all the way through, kind of like showcase that wave. You know what I mean? Like you say, those guys come in and they build their name and their brand. You can go all over the world as long as you build up in your area.
Exactly.
You know?
Yeah. I feel like when a kid is like out of this world in this area, they leave. Like
that happens.
Cam Thomas.
Yeah.
But I felt like, but I was talking to another coach about him, and they was like, man, they ain't never seen nothing like Cam though. He's like, Cam was just a different breed.
See, it's the
and he was a freshman, and we talking about what he did. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, it happens.
Yeah.
Like we got it. Like we do have those type of guys every so many years. You know what I mean? You was just naming Dodo like it was like, whoa, he took you by storm. Like like he knocked off all the top people. Like we got that mentality. So
and before him it was Iverson
and those guys.
I mean,
those guys do want to do this though.
But Iverson was a freshman. That's what I'm saying.
Was a freshman when he
Cam
took
was
off.
a freshman.
Yeah. But I mean, my question was the stage around here big enough for Cam?
Yeah.
Right. See,
and that's another thing.
He had to make sure.
But I feel like even at Oak Hill, he still take a back seat to Cole Anthony, and I'd be like, yo, have you seen his stats? Like, what? He's not taking. He is Oak Hill right now.
That's because he's quiet though.
Yeah.
He doesn't come off. He doesn't come off vocal. He comes off very humble.
He just be chilling.
And he come off like, okay, well, all right, well, Cole got that spotlight, but I'm just gonna still give you this 30 over here.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Well, it was like 3 games. He ain't scored 30 in.
That's it.
8 scored 30 in.
It'd be like 29, 28, 27.
It's still a high. It's still a high 20.
And it's like, hey, bro, and it's like Patrick Beverly in the NBA begging to get 15.
He ain't lying.
You get what I'm saying? You know what I mean? Like, come on, man. Like, it's like sometimes you asking Austin Rivers, please, man, just give me 12.
Yeah, I mean,
you asking guys like Austin Rivers to give me 12, and Cam Thomas is across the country right now giving out 30, 25, quick.
I mean, he's a special kid, man.
You know what I mean? So
his
some people can just put it in the hole, man. They can score.
And we dealt with it this summer. Like, his ability to score is crazy. Like, I looked at the scoreboard. I mean, AJ was locking them up at halftime, and we was down by 6, and then I looked at the scoreboard after the halftime. I was like, God damn, when the hell did it get to 20? You know what I'm saying? And hey, look, and then after the game, they said he had 30. I said, when the hell did he score to 30? But I mean, it is what it is. You know what I'm saying? I mean,
how did that game go? Because I feel like that was a big game for the area. Like everybody wanted to see that for so long,
man. But I mean, like I said, we tried to set it up. And honestly, I'm going to be honest with you. Like, we tried to set it up even before the hoop group thing happened. Like, I was talking to Welsh, and I was like, look, man, bring them here. You can sell the tickets. You can keep the proceeds. We just want to play. He was like, we can't get that done, and this, that, and the third. Such and such won't let this happen, and they won't let that happen.
Because in hoop group, any sneaker team
in hoop group,
play,
yeah. But see, the thing about the hoop group thing is like, you still taking the chance to get knocked off. You know what I'm saying? See, I didn't want that. I ain't even want that to happen. I just want a straight out game. And this is the God honest truth. And I've been asking for it for so long. Like, a straight out game. Look, you show up, we show up. Yo, everybody come, you know what I'm saying? Like, ain't no taking no chance. We just gonna run this straight up game. And you can sell the tickets. Let's find a gym to have it in. People will show up because they want to see it. But it just so happens that it happened at their hoop group. You know what I'm saying? And everybody was the hype. But see, I wanted I ain't even gonna lie to you. I wanted a situation where like the whole 757 can come out and see it. Because Boo's in the 757 and he's been established here so long that it's like, okay, well, he's the benchmark. You know what I'm saying? No disrespect. He's the benchmark. So it's like, he's here. we right there. We want to play y'all. And we keep knocking on y'all door and y'all keep not answering this door. Now you ain't got no choice but to answer this door. You ain't got no choice but to come and get on this floor. And they beat us. I mean, as simple as that. They had a big game from the big kid, Mamadou. Yeah. They got a big game from him. Yeah. And then, of course, Cam, I guess Cam snuck in with his 30. You know what I'm saying? And I mean, it is what it is, but it was a good show.
Kids playing in the backyard.
Exactly. And look what it did for the 757.
It's a backyard game.
It's as simple as that. It wasn't about loaded. It wasn't about loaded VA. Don't get me wrong. Even when loaded VA shows up and they play boo, that's like a rivalry too. But this is like a backyard brawl, and everybody wanted to see it. So that's why I wish everybody in the 7-5 could have came out to see it. You know what I'm saying? Just put it in the gym and just let people rock like that. But a lot of people nowadays don't want that smoke because it's a recruiting tool. Like you figure, I ain't gonna lie to you. Like if we play that game and we beat them. Look at the swing, like yo man.
They get no more 757.
Yeah, they don't have a lot of. They don't have a lot of 757 kids on their team anyway.
Right about that too. Yeah.
But that's another reason why we said we need this team
because y'all beat every other team.
Yeah, like that's exactly why
they had a. Right, because
we played them early. We played the 757 team, which was Russell team earlier in the year.
Right.
And we had beat them.
Right.
So
we kind of played that. Almost double digits with, you know what I mean, like the way the game was being played. Like we played it like in a pickup style. Like we're not gonna worry about officiating. You know what I mean? I'm not the type to ever claim or like not officiating, but like look, we playing it like this. We gotta make sure that we stay tough and rugged the whole way, because officiating can be up or down. So, you know, that's they backyard memories, they backyard brawls, they staples, and they building blocks for what you can possess and what you can use.
Yeah.
So do you feel like with the team push situation? Are like playing a Boo Williams team or playing a team loaded team, you feel like those games are gonna feel like
they're gonna mean a lot to us. I mean, don't get me wrong, they might not mean a lot to them.
Right.
They might look at it like, oh, they just some little mom and pop program, which pretty much they trying to, forecast us as now anyway. But it's gonna mean a lot to us because we already know we beat these people. We take off again.
Yeah.
It's almost like a Buster Douglas, Mike Tyson situation. We have nothing to lose.
Yeah. Everything
to gain. So if we come in here and we take our kids from the 7-5 and you have these kids from all over the place, as they always do. I think they had 2 757 kids this year?
It up and down.
I think they had
Cam and they had Chase.
Yeah.
That's it. Yeah. So you figure the rest of the 757 kids that you pretty much say, okay, well, you ain't good enough to play. We're going to put them on our team. And they knock you off. What does that do for us? I mean, that shifts the whole recruiting aspect around here anyway. Because don't get me wrong, as much as kids would love to play on that EYBL team and travel and go to these places and play in these events, it don't mean nothing if this team right here that's in your backyard is kicking your ass.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, that's just like TakeOver. Like TakeOver pretty much runs Northern Virginia.
Yeah.
The only way you gonna get a kid from only way you gonna get a kid from TakeOver is if they say, okay, well look, we didn't have room for you this year. It's as simple as that. They
started from the ground and
simple as that, man.
Kept it going.
How many top 100 kids do they have on their damn team?
They lock in. They get the academic situation straight. They get a lot of kids signed. When the kid signs and he has success, they go get another one, and then the college coach say, "I'm comfortable with that program.
Exactly.
I'm going there first."
So you're gonna keep
that's my Walmart.
For kids.
Exactly.
I feel
that's my Walmart. I'm going to get all my deals right there. That's my Walmart for the Division Ones.
It's the truth.
Yeah.
We were in Georgia. They were there. And I mean, hell, every high major school, every high major college that you could think of was there.
Yeah.
Was watching them play. I mean, it's simple. They ain't trying to be funny. We got on right after them. They stayed there and watched us play just because they were in the building. I mean, we gonna benefit. That's the thing. My thing is like we gonna benefit from all that. Like I'm like, yo, okay, but check this out. We gonna benefit from what you ain't doing. We gonna benefit from what you is doing. Right. We coming after everything because number one, we too smart not to.
Yeah.
And number two, we from the 7-5. We know how to finesse our way into some stuff. You know what I'm saying? It's as simple as that. That's how that works.
So what's the plan for this year? What kids, what gyms y'all gonna be in?
Like I said, hoop group all the way.
Hoop group is a big tool for the continue to
My
get
man
these kids.
Sean.
These group of kids need the hoop group. It's just for the level of college success.
Sean on the radar in Georgia. We down there too. They on the radar.
And as far as like the talent coming up, I prefer to say it's gonna be a good group. Not sure all the names, so I won't name any, but it's gonna be a good group.
Yeah,
it's gonna be some good groups.
Keep that list a little disclosed.
So what's the top kids in this area?
Period.
Oh, you talking 2019 or you talking 2020?
2019. That's they about to leave. So can they play AAU or unless they go prep?
If you prep, you can.
Okay. So 2020.
I mean, you got a lot of them. I mean, you got
Jordan
guys
Battle
like
is
Jordan
really
Battle averaging like a triple-double.
Jordan Battle
He's averaging a triple-double, man.
He's a real 757 representative.
Yeah. What school is he supposed to go to?
Because I know he was in the Chesapeake.
He's zoned for Smith, ain't
he? He's like Oscar Smith or Greenbrier
Yeah.
Middle.
They were actually telling me about that Smith.
Yeah, he's probably around around this.
You went to Smith, right?
Yeah. Another one of the guys carrying the tradition.
He's tough.
Yeah, he's another
Man,
one
you
of the guys.
You got a lot.
He could have played with Cam Thomas. You know, imagine what that would have been.
I'm gonna tell you like this. You got shoot like guys like Lil Clint.
See, Suffolk's got a good
Suffolk's
got a good.
Like dude got to be averaging like 24 points a game.
Some good
like
stuff.
He lighting it up.
Like, I gotta go check out Suffolk. I ain't been to Suffolk.
I mean, I ain't trying to be. And then you got a lot of freshmen and sophomores around here that's like, that you be like, yo man, all right, I gotta keep my eye on this guy. Like he might have a chance. He gonna be tough. And then you got the kid at Kempsville, the kid Dominic, the kid Elijah at Green Run. I mean, it's like you got Kanye at freaking Princess Anne.
Kanye is tough.
I mean,
I seen him in middle school. I was like,
and the skills and the way
he got heart too.
Right. The way that this embedded, there's another recipe for the 7-5. One of them sauces and spices in his game. They got the 7-5 went all over.
Still got like Norview and the kids over there. You got John and Jamal in Norview, and it's just so many like kids that can just go. And I can't name them all. You know what I'm saying? But I'm just like, it's just so many of them that can go.
That's unbelievable though. You know what I mean? Like those guys are gonna realize and wonder what you know what I mean. What's their their window on where they're gonna play, on how they're gonna play, and what the scheme is gonna be for the next level. That's what they trying to hone in on now. It's gonna be interesting to see what everybody's gonna do. Jaden Epps is one of the baddest scorers around here too.
Jaden Epps, and then you got
and can play the game to the T.
Lil Hand at
Lansdale.
Right, skill set is unbelievable.
I mean, he's a 2022.
Yeah, freshman.
Yeah, he's like 6'3".
Yeah,
he doing
shoot it. You know what I'm saying? You can go there.
What I think about Mitchell from Lake Taylor, because I think he's pretty good.
Special kid, man. I mean, he's another one of those kids. He's just like
right down that little cesspool where I'm living at.
He is
right down there.
The 2020 version of Darion. I mean, if you can believe it.
He was hurt a lot last year, but he helped them in the playoffs. I seen some highlights.
I mean, same frame, same everything.
He shoot it better.
And shoot it a little better.
He shoot it a little better.
But I mean, you think
look at that clone. Look at that clone.
But see, even
that clone situation.
You still talking, even in beats, you still talking. You forget about guys like freaking Jordan Lewis, who plays at Cox. You still got Josh Talbert. I mean, even though he's at Kellerman, he's 2019. He's a 2019 kid. He can go. You know what I'm saying? You still got kids at Tallwood, Yo School, Caleb and Cindy, and them. They can play. You know what I'm saying? Even though, I mean, it is what it is. Like they're not the upper echelons, but they can still go. You know what I'm saying? Then you talking about what? Even if you go into the Southeastern District, you got the kid Khalil and K1 at Indian River that can play.
Yeah.
You got who else? Who else is in the beat? I mean, in the Southeastern. You got Oscar Smith, who's got a team. You got the kid Cam Edmonds at Western Branch.
They got good players.
Kendall Bynum. You got the kid Butter.
Yeah.
He can go.
Exactly.
And we ain't even got into private schools. We just talking about public schools.
Mm-hmm.
Know what I'm saying? So it's like a lot of kids around here that can get it done. It's just a matter of like if you ain't got but 2 teams, then where do all these dudes go?
Yeah.
Then they get lost in the shuffle. And then they have no way to showcase their skills because you already know 2019 they're not taking but so many kids from around here, if they take any.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Team loaded, if they take any.
If they have a 7.5.
If they have a 7.5. So then where do you go? You know what I'm saying? That's why I said what we doing is we just trying to put on our kids in the area. Like I said, we can get 804 talent in, that's great. If we can get North Carolina talent in, that's great. Any state that touches, if we can get them in, that's great. But our primary goal is to take care of these kids around here. That's it.
Alright, that's all I need to know. Yeah, well, that's you got twin, good looking.
Already appreciate it, I know the
Appreciate the
7.5 gonna take care of the 7.5.
You know what I'm saying?
We just gonna brand the 7.5. The main thing is the 7.5 is just growth, you know what I mean, and kind of like keeping like our wings spread, just kind of like venturing out all the way through the world, from the 7.5 through the world, man.
Exactly. We just trying to help out all the schools that we can and put as many kids in school as we can. That's it. We just trying to give back to our
This whole topic was just about the growth of this area. You know what I mean? It's where kids need to kind of fall back on. It's going to be help on the way at all times for growing this area.
And I mean,
educational standpoint and basketball and life after basketball.
Definitely life after basketball.
Exactly.
A lot of kids don't even think about life after basketball.
Education, degrees. Your main goal is the degree, so you're going for you got to work hard on that basketball court to get that.
Yeah, you
got to earn that.
You can get the free education by playing basketball. Why not?
That's what my first episode was about, life after basketball. Talking to Darius about.
Right. We got to continue to building this brand too with 757 and the organization push and everybody around about just being aware of building this area. That's what we got to continue to do, build this area. You know what I'm saying? Like it's a shame. Like it should be more sports plexes around here. It should be more like educational activities around here. So that's where we come in there and kind of think, put our minds together and think like that.
Exactly.